Fantastic Four is proof that Marvel is failing. Now, this isn't a confident rollout, it's just a nervous push to go ahead and save what's left of a broken franchise. Now, the Fantastic Four TV spot basically screams desperation, and Marvel is hoping that throwing out a few visuals and some vague nostalgia will actually cover up how far off course that they've gone with this one. You see, they'll keep saying Fantastic Four is going to launch the next chapter of the MCU. And if that's true, then the next chapter is already in bad shape. And this movie is being sold as, something important, but the execution shows that Marvel doesn't understand the foundation itself that they're standing on. Okay. Now, there's a few things in this movie that, actually, look kind of decent. Galactus looks promising and stuff. The retro 60s styles has some charm. I mean, that aesthetic could have made, Fantastic Four stand out from the tired MCU template. But instead of building from, that strength, I mean, they go in directions that undercut everything else. Now, the female Silver Surfer is a mess. Didn't need to happen. Norman Red wasn't broken. He didn't need fixing, and people weren't begging for this particular change. It's forced, and Fantastic Four deserved the Silver Surfer that actually matched the tone of Galactus and the legacy of the comics. But then again, this is from the comics of the What If series, and they integrated it as a part of the multiverse saga. You see, they're also messing up Johnny Storm. Now, in the comics and past films, he's a cocky young star, not some cautious, modern guy and everything. And afraid to talk to women. The actor said that Johnny isn't a womanizer because that's too toxic for, modern audiences. That right there is stupid, you see, and that's the personality of the character itself. You see, Johnny Storm isn't meant to be a role model. He's a hothead. He's reckless. That contrast is what made Fantastic Four work. You see, you had stability of Reed, the warmth of Sue, the grit of Ben, and the chaos of Johnny. Strip that away, and Fantastic Four becomes just another bland, team with no spark at all right? Now, honestly, Reed Richards isn't being treated as the team's leader. He's being downplayed. And Sue Storm is getting the spotlight, as you all know, and not just in marketing. From the leaks themselves and the interviews, it sounds like, this is her movie. If that's what Marvel wanted to make, then, call it what it is. Just don't pretend that this is Fantastic Four when you're building the whole narrative around, just one character that's not the leader. And Reed is supposed to be the brains and the backbone of the team. You see, when you move him to the background, you change the entire story. And that change doesn't help the Fantastic Four legacy. It actually hurts it. All right. Now, there's also a quick glimpse of, Franklin Richards in the crib in this teaser trailer. And it's blink and you miss a moment, but it means something. You see, Marvel is simply just planting scenes where Franklin would be a key figure. You see, maybe even in Avengers Doomsday. He's one of the most powerful characters in the comics, and putting him in Fantastic Four probably means that Marvel wants to go ahead and have him to play a role down the line. They're also denying that Doctor Doom is in this movie, and that's hard to believe because Doom is actually essential to Fantastic Four, and not to mention the fact that there was leaks out there that he appears in the post-credit scene. And Marvel can deny it, but fans remember what they said about No Way Home. We've heard the same routine before, all right? Now, the word going around is that, basically Fantastic Four is mid. Not terrible, not great, just mid, as I've reported before. And that's not what Marvel needs right now. They need a home run with this one. And this movie is supposed to kick off the next phase and tie into Doomsday. Then it should feel like a game changer if that's the case. But instead, it's shaping up to be just another placeholder. Something that just fills the gap between now and the reboot. And that actually doesn't inspire confidence at all. And if the best you can do with Fantastic Four is something average, then what's left for the rest of the MCU at this point? You see, Kevin Feige is trying to sell this as something special. You see, he told Empire that Fantastic Four are the most important, characters in Marvel's history. I mean, honestly, that's not wrong. You see, they were the company's breakthrough. You see, but Marvel hasn't treated them like they matter. You see, they were ignored for years because of the Fox deal. Now that Marvel has them back, well, this should have been a reset, basically. But the direction they've taken is off. You see, if they're that important, why are the choices around them so reckless? You see, Fantastic Four should have been, treated with care, basically. And right now, it looks like they're just being treated as, just another opportunity to go ahead and test market ideas, basically. All right. Now, actor Pedro Pascal was not Marvel's first choice for Reed. He was down the list and stuff, and that's not an opinion, it's a reported fact. You see, they approached several actors and stuff before actually landing on him. And now the word is that he doesn't have much to do in the movie. You see, Sue leads the team, Reed follows, and that's not how Fantastic Four works. Now, when the character should be, leading instead of just stepping aside, it changes the entire framework, okay? And when Matt Shackman directing, the concern grows and stuff. You see, WandaVision started strong, but fell apart by the end. And that's the same creative team and everything trying to go ahead and steer Fantastic Four now. All right. And I knew that was going to be a disaster, but the way Marvel handled WandaVision is still a warning sign. You see, they had a strong setup and wasted it. Mephisto never showed up. Doctor Strange was removed from the story because Kevin Feige didn't want him mansplaining to Wanda. I mean, that was a real quote right there, as y'all remember from last year. And that mindset hasn't gone anywhere. It's still driving decisions, and it's showing up in Fantastic Four. Now, when every major character has to be filtered through a political lens, the story suffers. And that's what we're watching unfold with this movie. And once again, the Fantastic Four name is being dragged through another version of just someone else's agenda. All right. But that's not surprising at all. You see, Endgame had that infamous moment where all the female characters, as you all remember, lined up for no reason. That wasn't even storytelling, okay? It basically was a publicity stunt, and if it pulled movie out of people out of the movie, and ever since then, Marvel has been chasing the same kind of moment. But instead, I mean, of focusing on the core of the characters, they're just simply building scenes for headlines and stuff, and brownie points for the Hollywood elites. And that's the feeling Fantastic Four is giving off. Not a story driven film, but a statement piece. And that's not what this team needs. You see, Fantastic Four deserves something much better than that. Something that's actually grounded in what made it work to begin with. You see, Fantastic Four is being pitched as the beginning of something new, and that's hard to believe, especially when everything we're seeing looks like a continuation of the same old, tired, bad decisions and stuff. Changing key characters, sidelining others, and making the whole thing feel like less like a team and more like a solo vehicle with extra characters around, okay? So this is not the Fantastic Four we know, and that's not a return to form. You see, it's actually a big deviation, and no amount of virtual visuals or comic book quotes will fix it. But the issues here are at the foundation, basically. Now, honestly, Galactus does look good, and that's one thing people seem to agree on. But that alone can't carry a film. You see, especially when Silver Surfer, who should be the emotional core of that storyline, isn't a character that fans know. You see, Fantastic Four had the opportunity to reintroduce Norman Red to a new generation, but instead, they used that opportunity to score points with basically a small audience that probably won't even watch the movie. And if they try to redo the Galactus story later, well, honestly put, it won't carry the same weight. Now, the moment will have already passed, all right? And honestly, Marvel had a chance to go ahead and get this right. They had the history, they had the tools, they had the fan support, and they still made the wrong choices that alienate the audience. Now, the Fantastic Four legacy was ready for, a comeback and stuff, but instead it's just being used to go ahead and prop up decisions that don't even serve the story itself. Now, when you change the core elements of a team, you're not updating them, you're just replacing them. And if your goal is to bring new life into the MCU, well, doing that through a compromised Fantastic Four movie isn't going to work at all. Okay. Now, the rest of the MCU is already on shaky ground. As a matter of fact, it's almost dead at this point. Ironheart is on the way. That show is likely to flop. Vision has a show too, and while it might surprise people, I mean, it's probably going to go ahead and fall into the same pattern. Now, X-Men 97 is the only thing that fans are excited about, and that should tell Marvel something. And honestly put, Fantastic Four could have had that same momentum if they hadn't, gone in so many strange directions. But now, instead of just being the spark, it just feels like a placeholder, just something to get through before, the next big reset. Okay. Now, Secret Wars is coming. That's where, Marvel resets everything. And the new Iron Man, new Captain America, probably new Black Panther also. But the whole universe is going to change and stuff. But first, they need to survive this current phase and stuff. Where Fantastic Four is supposed to be the last big movie before Avengers Doomsday. All right. It's also meant to keep the interest alive. But if this movie doesn't hit, well, then Doomsday loses momentum before it even starts. And it's actually looking more likely that Fantastic Four won't deliver what Marvel needs. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed in the video. If you enjoyed what was shared in the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for future uploads and notifications. And I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.